Hi, and welcome to the Johnny Random Show. This is a reaction to the comment section that we got when we made our last video, which was us talking about Thomas Sowell's slavery, the part one. He has a part two. We only reacted to part one. It got a lot of views, which we weren't expecting, and got a lot of comments, which we really weren't expecting, and it kind of caught us off guard. So this is going to be us reacting to those comments. So let's just get right into it. See, so we actually posted the video 2 weeks ago, wasn't it?
I think.
Yeah, and then it didn't start. It had like 70 views last Sunday, and then today is like 20,000. So hopefully it keeps growing. Hopefully you guys keep subscribing and liking our content, because we weren't expecting this, and I'm having to scroll. Okay, so the first comment we got was my sister, and she said something that made Jews really different as slaves could earn their freedom, and they were set free even if the debt wasn't paid full every 70th year in the year of Jubilee, which I think it's every 50 years was the year of Jubilee, if I'm not mistaken. I also believe that Quiet T said, I believe if a slave was injured, his or her master, the slave would then be set free. And then some guy said, except that almost never happened. And then this guy, Quiet T, replied, said it did in Israel. You have to remember it was a matter of religion with them, not just a mere law. I actually think that he is correct. When I was looking at it, even though the law was that the year of Jubilee would happen and the slaves would be set free, and they were more of what we would think of as indentured servants, they actually weren't set free. So it's kind of them not doing what they were supposed to do, just as we often don't in humanity. This Dick Racy said, blow your nose. I have allergies like
So
you
bad.
wouldn't believe.
So bad.
And it's probably for a couple weeks in the fall and a couple of weeks in the spring. I just can't breathe, and I just want to stab a pencil up my nose and just let it drain, but it won't, no matter what I do. And so we happened to make this video while I was really suffering. So hopefully,
So if Dick Racy's annoyed, how much more annoyed do you think I am? Because I have to live with it. So
I have to live with this. Yes,
he has allergies, dude.
the word slave comes from the word Slavs, which I think that was talked about in the video. Is that not? So I'm not going to read that one. She's too quiet.
Jason Markwell.
Yeah, she's too quiet. Thinks she's planning how to off you.
I was literally asleep.
Yeah.
I was sleepy. I was halfway asleep during the whole thing. It was literally like at midnight when we made that video.
It really was almost midnight.
I was so tired.
And we had just got the kids in bed, and I was like, hey, I would love to make a reaction video with you. And you're like, yeah, we'll do it. And then I was like, please, right now. And then you're like, all right, fine. And so you did it. So I really appreciate you, baby.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And then let's see. This guy said he wished the topic didn't exist. Obviously, we all wish that there was no such thing as slavery, but it does exist, and so we kind of have to talk about it. I wish we didn't have to talk about sexual assault, people, who are poor, can't afford food, but these things happen. So I think it is important to talk about these things. There was the South's economy was agricultural and extremely labor intensive. The North was manufacturing and less labor intensive. Machines were critical. I think that they're referring to why there was slaves in the South and not in the North. Because I think you asked me that in the video, and I just said, it's more economical. Like, why would you want to have slaves? And they're actually pointing out, a lot of people had some really great comments pointing out how how that the slaves were like the more agricultural South. It just made more sense to have slaves, that in the North, it was more industrial based, so it wouldn't make as much sense to have slaves. Even though they did have slaves in the North. They were always pointing that out in these comments. Where's that guy that really tore us up? Really tore us up. I love that all you can get is, are you going to take even slavery away from us by looking at her expressions? Wow, it's like having a raincoat for reality. I would like one if the end result wasn't such obvious misery and resentment. Congrats to the Dems for making the concept of self-replicating slaves a reality. That is
a Bond level villain. That is, I kill Bond and I'm petting the third cat level villain.
I really don't know what he meant, but we had like 30 reply back and forth because I on this one I have to apologize to some guy. I was at work and I was like trying to respond to people and they were like piling in and I wasn't paying attention to who I was responding to. So I'm sorry to some of these people. I'm like literally like tagging the wrong person and like saying something, whatever. And I got everybody confused. And so yeah, that is what I get for trying to multitask. Not the best at that. So, but what I was trying to clarify, I was like, you think my wife wants to own slavery and wear it like a linen of human suffering? Did he edit this comment? Because he said something about like wanting to. He used those words, and I was replying back, and I was like, what are you talking about? And basically, we got into this like back and forth. And I feel like people we're looking at you and saying that like the video was somehow exposing that like slavery wasn't unique to black people. And so therefore that minimizes racism and slavery. And I don't think it does. I don't think that's the point of the video. I don't think Thomas Sowell is trying to say that. So I'm trying to like see why are people thinking that you think that that's taken away from you and how like that's not a part of your identity. Slavery is not a part of your identity. It's a part of your history, a more recent history than it is on my side, with whites. But, you can directly relate your being in America was probably due to slavery is like a 90% chance. Yeah. Even though there were slaves in America that were white and there's been white slaves throughout history, I have to rewind the clock even further back to get to that. So it's farther removed. And I think sometimes when we talk about, Irish immigrating here and Italians immigrating here, they think of themselves as Italian-American, for like 2 or 3 generations, and then it's just American. They're so American, they're so married to each other that you don't think of yourself as that past. And I think it's going to get that way for African-American culture as well. You're not going to think of yourself as coming from Africa, slaves from Africa. You're just American. We have a house, we have kids that grew up in this house. They're going to, replicate, and they're going to think of themselves as a lot more American than the generation past us that lived through some of the Jim Crow era, nonsense and the lynching and stuff like that. So
I guess we'll see.
I mean, I certainly hope so. I think, who knows? World War III breaks out, what kind of atrocities, will be unleashed on humanity. So, I mean, who knows? But let's see. Where was that one that I really wanted to talk about? This guy says it looks like I was lecturing her rather than taking what's being said and let her comment. Did you feel like I was lecturing you?
Yeah, a little. But that's how you talk. You literally just, yeah, I agree with this comment. Yes, I do.
Guilty. Yes, but like when I'm tired, I ramble. And that's just like my natural go-to. It's not like talking down. It's just like, okay, we're doing a video at late. I know you're tired, so I'm just trying to talk. And your tendency is like when you're tired is just to not talk. So I think that was like the real imbalance, like was a big imbalance. And
also I didn't know 90% of what was going on in the video. So
yeah,
I can't comment on something that I don't really know about. So
yeah, it's a lot packed into a little bit and then thrown at you. And so like even like some things I was saying wasn't like 100% accurate. I was just trying to give a little context to so much information just shotgunning at you. But I mean that's why reactions are fun, because you're like hitting at you first and it's like your gut reaction. So you're gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna not be able to process all that. Let's see. Heavy for sure. I just like the way you guys talk to each other and articulate your thought processes. Who wouldn't want a V number 27? Congratulations on your new channel. I'm going to keep watching and see how this thing goes. Rooting for you. God bless. That's Rick Carpenter. Thank you, Rick Carpenter.
That's a sweet comment.
That was a really nice comment. This guy said, why the attitude? The truth outweighs the propaganda. I don't know.
Who had an attitude? Was he talking about me?
I'm sure he was, because everybody said you had an attitude. You was not caring.
I did not
about
have an attitude. I did not have an attitude.
Not until you read this comment. Yeah.
I did not have an attitude. If I had an attitude, you know.
Exactly. Guys. And there's a lot. There's too much to react to here. So, and we're not going to make this a super long video. What's that one guy? Oh, she seems triggered.
She seems triggered.
What did I respond to that one? good. It's not her fault. Millions like her have been lied to for centuries and decades. Centuries and decades?
It's about time to wake the F up.
Okay, Henry. I just said she's not triggered. Life emoji. Like, what in the world?
I was not triggered. I was literally just tired.
I know.
That's really what it was.
Yeah, but people can't tell that. They don't know us, so, give them a little break. You can kind of tell she was sort of told to watch it and not interested in a new narrative at all.
That's the same guy who did that comment right there.
Oh, yeah. She seems triggered.
Billy Blackburn, 87.
Ooh, he was friendly. White men who go for black women usually have a blank robot look on their face. Race mixing is treason against
phrase itself. It is destructive as an abomination. Why should we have any regard for the opinion of the traitors? Well, George, that was a ridiculous comment.
George Bowringer. Okay, George.
So it's an abomination.
It's an abomination.
Well, your comment was an abomination.
I'm a robot. Yes.
I think that was very rude.
Yeah.
And I could say some awful stuff back to you, but I'm not going to.
He's a troll.
Yeah.
We're troll hunting now.
But thank you for the views.
Yeah, thanks for clicking on and watching us.
Thank you.
Please subscribe.
Yeah.
Bowringer.
Yeah.
Comment on everything. Tell us about the abomination you're witnessing. Excuse me, but the British stopped slavery, not the U.S. They did it later. Yeah, I really did misspeak. And, probably there are 50 comments of, the British stopped slavery first. The British, and I'm like, I am sorry. What I really was trying to say was the West.
Well, thank you, British.
Western philosophy, John Locke, all these people, laying the groundwork for it. And then we didn't get around to it until in the U.S. till much later than a lot of other places. We were kind of late to the game, but better late than never, right? I mean, there's another there's the British who first fought slavery. This guy said, I'm amazed you didn't learn this at school. You never heard of gladiators or Roman slaves, or huge slaves. That's really, nobody was saying we've never heard of slavery around the world before. I don't know how. Some people got that from this video too. I don't really know where they got that. We're just now learning about slavery from other.
No, they taught us in high school, but we didn't stay on that subject long. And I've been at high school for 10+ years, so
yeah,
I'm not thinking anything about that.
Yeah, and so, but I don't know. She looks like Rick Adams says. You want to read something?
She has no interest in this and would rather be on her phone. No insult to her. I know my daughter would have the same look if I made her watch that video. Young people today are not invested in actual, honest history.
I said she volunteered for it and we put all our kids to bed, so it was late at night. I mean, I don't know how to respond to that. I'm sorry, Rick Adams, that you felt like...
Once again, it was the midnight and I was sleepy.
Interested in, I think, I don't...
And I wouldn't just choose a slavery topic ever in my life to just watch, but I just did it because my husband asked me to. Yeah, I just literally did something out of the kindness in my heart.
I picked it, but you volunteered to react to it. You know what I mean? So, I didn't really, But I was trying to be something a little provocative so that we could react to something, different. Muhammad Ali went to Africa. When he came back, the reporter asked him, so what do you think of Africa Champ?
Yeah. I always thank God my ancestors got on the boat.
They didn't probably have a choice or much of a choice. Etymology of the word slave. Okay, we know it comes from Slav. Thomas Sowell is a treasure. Just my opinion. This did not go very well at all. Thank you for your comment. We'll get better as we go. Yeah. This guy said it's important to note Sowell is not a historian, but an economist, and his agenda of absolving Western society and oddly white society and his historical alliances, such as he leaves few key details out. So a lot of people are coming at Thomas Sowell because he's a black man and he's talking about these issues, and he's an economist, but he's talking a lot about history. So a lot of people are trying to discount him because he's not a historian.
Yeah.
Whatever. And I'm like, just because you're an economist doesn't mean you can't look at history.
Speak on history.
And if you're a black person, you obviously care about, this issue, if you're looking at history. So I feel like he has every right to have, and he is a person that grew up in Jim Crow era. So he has a really legitimate place to say, to speak on these things. So I don't get that type of comment and that, angle at all. They made welfare so they could control blacks for the vote. There is a comment that I think Lyndon B. Johnson. What people don't realize to me is like, just because a politician said something doesn't mean that made it the policy of their entire presidency. We have a huge government, and just because one person doesn't mean that is the people who wrote the law's intentions, right? I don't think the intention of welfare was to do it. I think Lyndon B. Johnson saw it as a byproduct of, he said something about them N-words will be voting for us for decades, for Democrats, because we did this welfare thing. And so he saw it as a political advantage, but I don't think that means that he did it for that reason. I think he saw that as a byproduct, and because he was racist, he's looking at it from that point of view. But I don't necessarily think that damns the whole policy. I think it has done a lot of damage to both whites and blacks, and I think most African Americans are challenged in the wealth department, but that's because they weren't able to get into homes, and they were discriminated against through the Jim Crow era for a long time, and then now they're don't have as much money, so yeah, they're going to be the people that need more welfare assistance. And then the welfare program is an addicting process, whether you're white or black. It doesn't matter. I think it is, because of some of the things we talked about in the video. So go back and watch the video, please. This is another person said, public schools have failed you both. Man, I never went to the public school, so.
Yeah, you were homeschooled.
Yeah, don't tell people that. Middling in the middle. That's who said that. Again, it's kind of like people saying that we're acting like we didn't know that slaves existed and gladiators and
No, I definitely knew.
Yeah, so that's not what we're really reacting to. But again, I get why people maybe project that onto it. A lot of people I felt like were projecting. The lady seems quiet and somewhat angry. Oh, there's just a lot of this stuff. This guy says, dude, you are Brian Brooks. Dude, you are so off base at the end about why slaves were used instead of local crackers and rednecks, which sometimes is a racial slur if used the wrong way. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Somebody said, thank you for this video. Clarice Drellette, thank you for liking it. Racial, not biracial. That we are one human race. I agree with that, but making the title of the video is trying to be getting people to click on it. So if I say biracial, I feel like it might get more clicks. That was the reason by doing it. I don't necessarily think of us as a different race.
I know I'm black, I know you're white, but I still love you.
Yeah, and there's Asians and everything else, but we're all the human race. You know what I mean? So
amen to that.
Let's see. Bro, educate yourself. Right, lots of that. Oh, this you gotta read this.
Peggy, is that Cornmute? No, Cornute. Peggy Cornute. This is BS, sis. Get out while you still can. He's wrong. That white boy is filling your head with.
He's wrong. I'm filling your head with lies. Okay.
I can guarantee I didn't think anything else about this video after I cut it off. It never crossed my mind again. I literally didn't know anything was going on, and then we had these views or comments till my husband told me I didn't think nothing else about this. He's not filling my head with anything. But thank you for your concern.
Nothing breaks my heart more than seeing a low self-esteem
having black woman getting barraged by this white backlash crap. This is from Joel Henry. Low self-esteem.
Yeah.
You think I have low self-esteem because I'm doing a slavery video? That doesn't even compare.
That doesn't add up, but okay. And I responded to this guy because that really made me upset. My wife is the kindest, strongest, and most down-to-earth person I've ever met in my life. Your comment takes the cake. You projected your low self-esteem onto her. My friend, she is the smartest person I know and can handle herself in every situation. No one I trust more to set me straight and help me with difficult questions in my life than my wife. Which is true. So you going to watch a video about slavery from a perspective not in line with what the
white backlash viewpoint. Let's go to the next comment.
I said send what you have. Okay. This guy says he probably doesn't even know that Thomas Sowell is black. Well, I don't. Yeah. Again, I think a lot of people attack Thomas Sowell because they're not realizing what he's actually trying to do. So they won't teach the truth about slavery or the goodness of our country. This country's a great country. Also, it's got some ugly spots.
Samuel Rasnake said one word: participant. I was sleepy. Do you want to do the next video, Samuel?
Yeah, come on here with me, Samuel.
Do the video.
Rake Snake. Talk with me on racial stuff.
Yes.
There it is. I'll have them members voting Democrat for the next 100 years. They've always been the party of the KKK. And actually, there's like the great switch, right? So then all the Democrats in the South became Republicans. And so now, like, let's just throw that out there. The fact race does not exist in biology as there are no race genes. Again, we pretty much agree with that. Government welfare instituted to help people, ? This is Jeffrey Smith. What is a pathologically lying politician claimed? Can you read this? Because apparently I'm special.
Was government welfare instituted to help people? That is what pathologically lying politicians claim was the reason. But private and local welfare always existed in this country. The government took that away for their reasons, whatever they were, and not to help people. The fact that occasionally some people actually get help from government programs is purely luck.
Okay, that's one take. This is why the woke teachers and Democrats want history banned and replaced with CRT. Your ancestors and bloodline must be erased from history and memory to become mental slaves to the cult of wokeism and the wealthy. Like, to me, that's the exact opposite of CRT. CRT is to teach all of this stuff, and then this person seems to be saying that it's to not teach people. So, yeah. Okay, I hear the baby crying, so we need to wrap it up with... sorry if we didn't get your comment. We really do appreciate all the love. Somebody said we were
dude, drugged. You married a woman who is a racist. She can't even hide her hate on camera. I'm definitely not racist. I have...
Cycles.
A biracial daughter. I have 2 white stepkids. My whole family are married or have kids by someone white, so I'm not racist. So thank you.
Yeah, that's.
You married a racist.
I married a racist. Dang, I didn't know that. Let's see. There was somebody that said we look drugged. I wanted to get to that, but I don't see that in here. But it was just late, man, guys.
Do we look drugged today? Whoever made that comment that we look drugged and we should be sterilized.
Comment on this video. Sterilized.
Yeah, we should be sterilized.
We got 3 kids.
It's a little too late
for you.
A little too late for that.
You do not get your way. So, hey, subscribe to the channel. We are on Patreon now. We got some merch going. We got all the different things. We're really, really positive about all the feedback. There really was a lot more love than hate, but there was a lot of hate. And so we wanted to address the haters. And
that was my first ever video.
And that was her first ever video. So, like... give this a thumbs up and be proud of her. And we're going to do some more in the future. And we hope you really enjoy it. So thank you. Have a great one.
Deuces.